Hi, Seamus again here, and in this video we're going to discuss the important rules of the binary option smart box system here. So the first very basic rule is that every arrow indicator or signal is valid for 1 bar only, meaning that if I have an arrow, for example right here onto the chart, if I had this arrow here on 1 minute chart USD GPY, I had this selling arrow, so my trade is valid for this trade for this next candle only, meaning for 60-second expiry on your binary options platform. And if I have a 5-minute chart, I'm going to take my trade here. For example, we had a buy arrow here, so I'm going to take the trade on the next candle for the same time that my arrow is on the MetaTrader 4 platform. So here it's 300 seconds or 5-minute expiry trade, and so on and so forth, so that you don't want to mix up your trading expiry, such as so many people have been asking me how many minutes I'm going to take the trade with when I have an arrow. So here it's 1 bar. So basically 1 bar meaning if you are on a 5-minute chart, you take a 5-minute trade expiry. If you are on a 15-minute chart, you take a 15-minute expiry trade, and so on and so forth. So I hope that this has been cleared already now. We move to the second important rule as well, is when we want to execute our trade. Basically, for what I want to say here is to make sure that you're going to win the trade and you're not going to lose the trade, making delays in time delays in when executing your trade. So for example, here we have you need to execute or trade your trade in the first 10 seconds of the candle of open after the arrow pops up. So for example, here this is the 5-minute chart, and I have an arrow popping up here, this candle. So I want to take the trade on the next candle, right? And when I want to take it, I'm not going to take it when already 1 minute has passed on the open of this candle, because I know that I will be late. Maybe this next candle will jump to the upside in the first minute, and that will make us losing. So we want to make sure on a 1-minute chart, I recommend that you take the trade within the first 10 seconds of a candle open. Like for example here, if it's been 2 seconds since this candle opened here, after the arrow popped up on this candle, I want to take it. But if 10 seconds has passed, I won't take the trade. And for 5 minutes, I have extended the trade executing time to 20 seconds. So for 5-minute trades, I will have to take the trade within the first 20 seconds of the candle open after the arrow popped up on. And for 15 minutes, I can extend it to even 30 seconds or 40 seconds. So depending on the price movement. And the third important rule here is you must take the trade with a good SR, meaning the SR is the strike rate or the entry point or the price that you entered your trade on. So this entry point must be all near or close to the opening price of the candle. For example, if the price has jumped very far away of the opening price of the candle, even in the first 10 seconds of the candle open, I will not recommend to take the trade, because you will get that high, maybe a lower price than of the candle price closing at the end of the expiry of that candle. We move to the chart to show you here to be more precise and how to use this. Like I said, we want to take a good SR, meaning let's just use the USD GPY chart here. So I want to take a good SR. For example, like in this candle scenario here, we have the arrow popping up on that candle. We take the trade on the next candle. But if this trade, that was the opening price of that candle, 917. So in the first, I want to take the trade within the first 10 seconds, because this is the 1-minute chart and we have the 10 seconds rule of the candle open price. So for example, like this one, I want to take the trade right now on that candle in the first 10 seconds, and I want to take a close price to the opening price of this candle here, which was 938. in the first 10 seconds. But if it, for example, let's pretend that the price has moved far away from 938 to 932, and then executes my trade in the first 10 seconds. I know that this is a price that has a spread of 6 points, and I know maybe at the end of the expiry of that candle, the price may close right here, like 36. So my entry point was 32 and the candle closed at 36, so I will lose the position, even though it shows that this would be a winning trade. So basically what I recommend here is to take your entry points with no more than 2 micro pips difference of the entry point price. So for example here 938, I want to execute it at 935, so this is 3 point difference, and the candle closes at 333, maybe 934 I think, or 33. So at the end of the trade I will win it. But if I take a lower or higher entry point that is higher than 3 micropips difference or spread of the opening price, I will lose the trade. So make sure to take that into consideration. And the fourth and the final important rule is to avoid taking trades when the candle that the arrow has appeared or popped up on has took too much room that is left for price correction, such as limousine and engulfing candles. We move to my MetaTrader 4 here to take an example of that trade. Like for example, like this one, we have this candle going here, and I want to this signal here, and I want to take a trade on the next candle, but because I see this is a big candle that has took too much room left for price to correct. I know that this in most 90% of the time when we have such setups like this, this candle is going to make us lose, but sometimes 10% of the time you will win that trade, and you will be lucky if you will win in such scenarios and setups. So like for example like this one, I think that I'm sure that the price that the arrow will give me a buy arrow on that candle, but I'm not going to take the trade. See, we had the arrow popping up here, but I'm not going to take a trade. Why? Because this trade is an engulfing candle. This candle is a engulfing candle, and it has too much room left for price to make correction. Even though this trade is going to win, I said that, you remember I said that's 10% of the time, and you will be lucky to win such setups. But I think this is maybe news or announcements or something. So when you see such big candles and the arrow is on that candle, avoid taking such trades, because the next candle 90% of the time it will make you lose, but 10% of the time you will win it. And I think that the best thing here is you really don't want to risk your hard-earned money on such high probability trades and scenarios and setups here to take. So those were the only important rules for using the binary option smart box system. I will include under the video, under the page of this video here, I will include the link to watch and read this document here live on Google Documents. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.